I had a bit of an existential crisis in my driveway this morning.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was just sitting there waiting for the engine to warm up, and I'm looking around the cabin of my car. And I mean, it hit me. We are surrounded by this incredible futuristic tech.
It is impressive.
I've got a dashboard that looks like a spaceship, sensors that yell at me if I drift out of my lane, heated seats that practically give me a hot stone massage.
It really is amazing how much has changed, even in just the last, 10 years?
Right. But then I look through the windshield,
Mm-hmm.
and right there, staring me in the face, is this piece of technology that feels ancient.
Uh-huh.
I mean, we are literally relying on a rubber squeegee on a metal stick to see where we're going. It just feels like such an anachronism.
It is a bit jarring when you frame it that way. You have all this computing power,
Yeah.
but your visibility still depends on a strip of rubber dragging across glass. And, if you look at the history, your feeling is justified. This technology hasn't fundamentally changed since 1902.
1902. That is wild.
Yeah.
That's what, before the Model T.
It is. A woman named Mary Anderson invented the manual windshield wiper back then. She was visiting New York City and noticed streetcar drivers had to keep opening their windows to see through the sleet, getting a face full of freezing rain in the process. She sketched out a design for a manually operated wiper blade. And while we've added electric motors and rain sensors since then, the core mechanic is virtually identical.
So we've got this centenarian technology in our cutting-edge cars.
Mm-hmm.
And this brings us to the problem, and really the reason we're doing this deep dive today, because wipers are such old tech, and they're so simple. I feel like we just completely ignore them.
Mm-hmm.
They are easily the most neglected safety feature on the vehicle.
Neglected is the perfect word, and that neglect is dangerous. The mission for this deep dive is really to shift our perspective. We need to stop thinking of wipers as a convenience feature, something to clear away a little mist, and start seeing them as a survival tool.
And a survival tool.
Because when you're doing 60 miles per hour in a storm, that squeegee is the only thing keeping you from driving blind.
And driving blind isn't just a figure of speech here. Let's unpack the stakes, because the research you brought is actually kind of terrifying.
It is.
I think most of us treat wipers as a binary thing. Either they work or they don't. But there's this dangerous middle ground where they sort of work, right?
That middle ground is where the accidents happen. The source material emphasizes that the core function of the wiper is maintaining visibility to ensure reaction time.
Right.
It's not just about whether you can see the road, it's about when you see the hazard.
That makes so much sense. It's the difference between seeing brake lights 100 yards away versus like 50 yards away.
Exactly. At highway speeds, you're covering almost 90 feet every single second.
Wow.
If your windshield is smeared or streaky or hazy, your brain has to work significantly harder just to process the visual information. That cognitive load slows your physical reaction time.
You might not even realize it's happening.
You don't. You might not realize you're squinting or straining, but that delay can be the difference between a near miss and a collision.
The sources also mentioned specific risks, like not seeing pedestrians or traffic signals clearly. But the one that really stood out to me, because I experience it constantly, is glare.
Glare and distortion. Yeah, this is a huge issue.
It's the worst at night, right? You're driving in the rain, your wipers swipe, but instead of clear glass, you get this smear. And then an oncoming car hits you with their high beams.
And suddenly the whole world turns into a starburst.
Exactly. You can't see a thing for like 2 seconds.
Well, let's look at the physics of that. When a wiper is functioning correctly, it leaves the glass clean and dry. Light passes through it perfectly. But a worn wiper leaves this microfilm of water, or microscopic streaks.
Okay.
When intense light hits that film, it scatters. It's called diffraction. You aren't looking through a clear window anymore. You're looking through a distorted lens. That causes intense eye strain and momentary blindness.
And that's just standard wear and tear. The research mentions a nightmare scenario, catastrophic failure.
Oh, yeah.
I always assumed wipers just slowly faded away, but they can actually just break.
They absolutely can. The rubber is under constant tension. If it tears at the neck, which is a common stress point, the blade can detach from the frame entirely.
Oh, no.
Imagine being in a torrential downpour, the kind where you can barely see the hood of your car and suddenly your wiper flies off.
That is a pure panic moment. You go from poor visibility to zero visibility. instantly.
And the metal arm is now scraping against your windshield, likely scratching the glass permanently. It's a disaster scenario.
I think it's also worth mentioning the legal angle here. I didn't realize this, but the sources point out that driving with bad wipers isn't just dangerous, it can be illegal.
That is correct. In many jurisdictions, operating a vehicle with impaired visibility due to faulty equipment is a traffic violation. So if you get into an accident because you couldn't see, you can be ticketed.
So you're risking a crash and a fine.
Exactly.
Okay, so the stakes are incredibly high. We've established that. But I feel like the main reason people drive with bad wipers, myself included, is that we don't really know how to diagnose the problem until the rubber is literally flapping in the wind.
Right. We wait for the catastrophe.
Yeah. But surely there are early warning signs.
There are. The research breaks this down into what I like to call the language of wear.
Ooh, I like that.
The wipers are trying to tell you they're dying long before they fail. The sources identify 3 specific symptoms, and understanding the difference can save you a lot of headache.
Okay, language of wear. Lay it on us. What's the first sign?
The first and most common sign is streaking. This is when the wiper passes over the glass and leaves thin lines of water behind.
Classic. I see that all the time. It looks like you're looking through a cage.
Exactly. Streaking is almost always a material failure. It means the rubber edge, the squeegee part, is compromised. It might be dry and brittle from the sun, or it might have tiny cracks.
Okay, so streaking equals bad rubber. What about the second sign? The sources call it skipping.
Skipping is distinct from streaking. This is where the wiper blade actually leaves large patches of water completely unwiped. It usually happens in the middle of the blade or at the ends.
So it's missing spots entirely. Is that also bad rubber?
It can be, but it often points to a mechanical issue.
Yeah.
It usually means the wiper arm, the spring-loaded metal part attached to the car, isn't applying even pressure. Or the blade itself has become permanently deformed.
Deformed town.
Well, if you leave your car parked for weeks without moving the wipers, the rubber can take a set. It curves to the shape of the glass and loses its ability to flip back and forth. So when it tries to wipe, it just hops over the glass.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
So streaking is the edge, skipping is the pressure. And the third one, this is the one that drives me insane, juddering.
The dreaded chatter. That horrible skirt sound as the blade drags across the glass.
Just thinking about it sets my teeth on edge. It sounds like the car is screaming.
It is the sound of friction. A healthy wiper should glide silently on a microscopic layer of water. Juddering means that smooth glide is gone.
So what causes that? Is the wiper just angry?
In a way, it's usually a sign of extreme stiffness. The rubber has become so hard that it can't flip over when the wiper changes direction. Instead of flipping, it digs in and drags.
So if my car sounds like a dying goose every time it rains, I've got juddering.
That is a vivid description, but yes, that is juddering.
So what is actually killing these things? We've got streaking, skipping, juddering. But why? I mean, rubber is tough stuff. Why does it seem to disintegrate on my windshield?
It is tough, but the environment on your windshield is remarkably hostile. The sources identify a rogues gallery of enemies that are constantly attacking your wipers. And the biggest one might surprise you because it has nothing to do with rain.
Let me guess. It's the sun,
Correct. UV light.
the silent killer.
Ultraviolet light attacks the polymer chains in the rubber. It's a process called photooxidation. So even if you never turn your wipers on, if your car is parked outside, they are slowly dying. The sun cooks the rubber, turning it into hard, brittle plastic.
So the summer is actually harder on wipers than the rainy season.
In terms of chemical degradation, absolutely. You park your car in July, the sun bakes the blades, and then in November you turn them on and wonder why they streak.
That explains so much. But the sources also mention grime.
Yes. Think about what settles on your car. Dust, road salt, tree sap, bird droppings. When you turn your wipers on without cleaning that off first, that debris acts like sandpaper.
It's like taking a belt sander to a rubber band.
Precisely. And then you have moisture acid rain, salt spray, and finally temperature extremes. Freezing temps can crack that hardened rubber instantly.
So given this assault, what's the realistic lifespan here? I feel like I'd try to stretch mine to 2 years, which I'm guessing is way too long based on your face.
2 years is pushing your luck. The general rule of thumb from our sources is 6 months to 1 year. That's the window.
6 months. That feels incredibly short.
It depends on your environment. If you park in a garage, maybe you get a year or more. But if you park on the street, exposed to the elements, 6 months is the reality.
I think a lot of listeners just realized their wipers are technically expired. I know mine are.
It's a high turnover item, but you have to weigh the cost of a wiper blade against the cost of safety.
Fair point. But let's talk about how to keep them alive a little longer. What is the maintenance protocol? Is there a secret to wiper longevity?
There is, and it starts with one golden rule. The source material is very emphatic about this. Never, ever run your wipers on a dry windshield.
I am definitely guilty of this. You get in the car, there's a layer of dust, and you just hit the miss button.
That is the quickest way to destroy the blade. When the glass is dry, the friction is incredibly high. You're tearing at the rubber edge and grinding that dust right into the material.
So always use washer fluid.
Always. You need lubrication. Even if it's just a little dust, spray the fluid first.
Okay, noted. No dry wiping. Now what about cleaning the blades themselves? I never touched the blades.
This is a huge missed opportunity. The sources outline a very specific cleaning protocol. It's simple. First, lift the wipers off the glass. Then, and take a soft cloth dampened with mild dish soap or washer fluid.
And just wipe the rubber?
Wipe the length of the blade, focusing specifically on the edge. You're going to be shocked at how much black gunk comes off on the towel.
I always assumed the black stuff was the rubber dissolving, like, oh no, I'm wiping the blade away.
Some of it is oxidized dead rubber, yes, but a lot of it is road tar, oil, and built-up grime.
Okay, wipe until clean. But the sources mention a pro tip that sounds a little controversial, using alcohol.
Isopropyl alcohol, rubbing alcohol. Now, you have to be careful here. You don't want to soak your blades in it because it can dry out the rubber. But for a deep clean, it's fantastic.
So it's like a reset button.
Exactly. The alcohol cuts through oily road film that soap might miss. Put a little on a rag, wipe the blade quickly, and then rinse it with water. It can rejuvenate a streaky blade.
That is a great tip. Now, what if you do all this? You clean the blades, you respect the golden rule, and you still have streaks.
Not necessarily. This is where we have to troubleshoot the other half of the equation, the glass.
The windshield itself.
Yes. The source suggests that sometimes the wiper problem is actually a windshield problem. Glass is porous. It collects contaminants wax from the car wash, oil from diesel exhaust.
So the glass isn't actually smooth.
Correct. It has invisible bumps and slick spots. If cleaning the wiper doesn't work, you need to deep clean the glass. The sources recommend using a clay bar or a dedicated glass polish to strip the glass back to its raw, clean state.
A clay bar on glass. I've never thought of that.
It makes a massive difference. Smooth glass means quiet, effective wiping.
Or, as the sources mentioned, just check your washer fluid.
It can go bad. And don't forget the wiper arms themselves. If the metal arm is bent or the spring is weak, no amount of cleaning will fix a mechanical lack of pressure.
Okay, let's say it's just time. We need new wipers. This brings up a question I've always had. Do I have to replace the whole metal assembly, or can I just swap out the rubber part?
That is the classic question of economy versus convenience. The answer, according to our sources, is yes, you can often replace just the rubber insert.
That sounds way cheaper.
It is significantly more cost-effective. You keep the metal frame and just slide in a new strip of rubber.
So why doesn't everyone do that?
2 reasons. First, it's fiddly. You have to find the exact right one, and threading that rubber strip through the little metal claws requires some dexterity.
High risk of frustration.
Exactly. But the second reason is simply modern car design. Many newer vehicles use what are called beam blades.
I've seen those. They look like a single curved piece of plastic, right?
Correct. They're aerodynamic and sleek, but they are often sealed units. You can't just slide new rubber in, you have to replace the entire assembly.
So the industry has kind of moved us toward the more expensive disposable model.
For better or worse, yes. But to be fair, beam blades generally perform better at high speeds. The wind pushes them down against the glass.
That's a good point. Now, we have to discuss winter wiper blades. Is this just marketing fluff, or is there actual engineering here?
There is legitimate engineering, and for certain climates, they are a game changer. Standard wipers have a fatal flaw in winter.
Which is?
The joints. On a traditional wiper, you have all those little pivot points exposed. When it snows, ice packs into those joints and the wiper freezes in a rigid shape. It can't flex.
I've had that happen. You get a clean stripe in the middle and nothing on the edges.
Exactly. Winter blades solve this with a rubber boot. It's a sheath that covers the entire metal frame so ice and snow can't get in.
Smart, so it stays flexible.
And the second difference is the chemistry. They use a softer rubber compound that stays pliable in freezing temperatures.
So why not just run winter blades all year round?
Because that soft rubber hates heat. If you run winter blades in July, the hot sun and the hot windshield will just chew them up. They'll get mushy and smear.
It's literally a wardrobe change for your car. Winter boots off, summer sneakers on.
That is a perfect analogy.
This leads us perfectly into our crisis management segment. Picture this. It's 7 a.m., you're late for work, and your wipers are freezing solid to the windshield.
A classic morning nightmare.
What do most people do? They panic. And I feel like there are some serious don'ts here that we need to warn people about.
There are two major don'ts that the sources emphasize. The first is, do not pour hot water on the windshield.
But it melts the ice so fast.
It is satisfying right up until you hear the crack. You're taking glass that's maybe 20 degrees and hitting it with water that's 150 degrees. That thermal shock can shatter your windshield in a split second.
Okay, definitely don't do that. What's the second don't?
Do not turn the wipers on to try and break them free.
Guilty. I've definitely tried this. Come on, little motor, push through.
We all have, but the rubber is frozen to the glass. It's bonded. The motor is trying to pull it. Something has to give. Either you tear the rubber off the blade, or worse, you burn out the wiper motor.
So you break the wiper or you break the car.
Exactly.
So what is the correct, expert-approved method to deal with this?
Patience and chemistry. Step 1. Start the car and run the defroster on high. Let the heat from the inside loosen the bond. Step 2. Use a de-icer spray.
And if we don't have a store-bought spray, the sources gave us a DIY recipe, right?
Yes, and it's brilliant. It's just a mix of water and isopropyl alcohol. 2 parts alcohol, 1 part water. Put it in a spray bottle.
Does that really work?
Like magic. Alcohol has a much lower freezing point than water. It melts the ice on contact, but because it's not hot, it won't crack the glass.
That is a pro tip I am definitely using this winter. Spray, wait, and then gently lift.
Precisely. And ideally, prevention is better than cure, if you know a storm is coming.
Lift the wipers off the glass the night before.
Or use a windshield cover. It saves you 10 minutes of scraping in the morning.
Simple advice, but it saves so much headache. You know, we've covered a lot of ground here.
It really is a surprisingly deep topic for something we take for granted.
So let's bring it home. For the listener who's maybe driving right now and glancing nervously at their windshield, what are the big takeaways?
I would say 3 main things. First, respect the lifespan. If it's been over a year, change them. Don't wait for failure.
Good rule.
Second, clean them. Use a little alcohol or soapy water on the blade itself. It takes 30 seconds and can double the life of your wipers.
And third,
never treat your wipers like ice scrapers. They are delicate precision instruments designed for water, not ice.
I love that framing. Precision instruments.
They deserve it. They keep us safe.
They really do.
You know, if I can leave the listener with one final thought. We often talk about active safety brakes, steering, stability control, the things that help you react to danger.
Right.
But there's a concept called passive safety. It's the things that work in the background. We obsess over tires and brake pads, but none of that matters if you can't see the danger in the first place. Visibility is the prerequisite for all safety.
That is such a good point.
Yeah.
You can have the best brakes in the world, but they don't matter if you don't see the car in front of you until it's too late.
Exactly. So take a look at your car today. Is it time to check the rubber that's been baking in the sun? It might just be the most important safety check you do all year.
A profound thought to end on. Go check your wipers, everyone. Thanks for diving deep with us today.
Safe driving.
Please like, subscribe, and get notified.